Right, so today we're going to be going over the difference between whey protein and steaks. Now, a lot of you may be thinking there's a clear difference, one of them's from a cow and one of them isn't. But we're going to be going into the main benefits and negatives and the reason why you would have one rather than the other. Let's start off with the obvious one. Why do people have whey protein and why do people eat steaks? Now, most of the people that are going to start eating whey protein and stuff like this are going to be going to the gym, they're going to be trying to put muscle on, so therefore, they're going to want the protein out of this. A lot of people think that whey has an extremely high protein level and think that's 5 times better than steaks. However, they're actually wrong. The protein comparison is very similar. Yes, on a normal day, you would only have about 30 grams of whey powder. And normally, if you were to eat a steak, it would be a lot more than 30 grams. You'd more be looking around 100 to 150. But if you look at the comparison between the two, one serving of one steak, which is roughly around 100 grams, can give you around 22, 23 grams of protein. If you look at the whey powder, this is normally only about 20 to 22. So you get slightly more protein with the steak. Yes, there is a higher volume of steak there. So with protein, there's not much of a difference between the two. However, the massive difference between the powder and the steak is the fact that the steak has significantly more minerals, nutrients, vitamins, and all of the good stuff that is required to be able to keep your body functioning and healthy, whereas the whey powder does not. Now, I know a lot of the time whey protein powders, they always say don't substitute this for your diet, and the main reason they are saying that is because the nutrients level isn't very high and it's not a sustainable life source, let's say, whereas steaks are. So they are covered in that area. However, a lot of people that do go to the gym, they don't understand. They think that they can just take the whey protein that gives them the protein and the macronutrients of the day to be able to then grow and be sustainable. Whereas actually, you're not lacking in the macronutrients of proteins, fat, and carbs. You're actually lacking in the vitamins, the minerals, and everything for recovery. Now, I may have confused you already by using certain terminology which you don't quite understand. So I'm going to explain briefly a few things. So when I mention macronutrients, what I mean is the proteins, the fats, the carbohydrates, that's about it. Obviously you can get others in there, but that is about it. And then when I mention like the minerals and the vitamins and everything like that, I mean like vitamin B12, A, C, etc. So whey protein is very specific and is very high in the macronutrients, which is good, which is what most people look at. However, it is lacking in the minerals and the vitamins, which the steak is very rich in. So in my opinion, if I was to choose out of the two, I would definitely be choosing the steak 9 times out of 10. However, some people do find it an inconvenience to be able to cook. So this is the next point: convenience, speed, and time. So in my personal experience, I've never really had protein powder. I never really bothered. I've had it once or twice in the past, never really liked it, thought it was pretty pointless, just stick to the steaks and the eggs. However, some people, they do wake up with a very short time period in the morning and they don't have 10 minutes to cook a steak, eat it and get out. So they just make a protein powder, shake it up and go. Now, this is the one benefit of having protein powder. There's no inconvenience of cooking or spending time making the food, where you can actually just shake it up, smoothie, and get out the door. However, the people that then start putting loads of fruit or mixing it up or spending 20 minutes making their own protein drink, they might as well just cook up a steak and eat that because it's going to be 5 times more beneficial for you in the long run. The next point I'm going to highlight is the pricing. If you look at the pricing in comparison to steaks and whey protein, there's not much of a difference at all. If you go for a protein powder which hasn't got a brand, which is probably going to be not as good as whey protein. Whey protein's good brand and it's good brand for a reason because they make a good product. If you go for a unbranded protein powder, it's going to be slightly cheaper. But overall, whey protein in comparison to steaks, the price difference is very small. Steaks are slightly more expensive, admittedly. However, the reason they're more expensive is because you get 10 times the amount of nutrients, minerals, and all that other jazz that you want in your diet. So if anything, it's better value for money. Now, I understand there's the last point which I do want to mention, which a lot of people are probably quite sensitive about, but it would be the whole animal killing and eating animals and stuff like that. I know that is very significant in this modern era, and unfortunately, a lot of you don't want to eat meat, and that's fine, I understand. So stick to your protein powder, that's absolutely fine. However, for those that don't mind eating meat and do love a bit of steak, I'd highly recommend just smashing down a steak rather than going to whey protein or any protein powder, in fact. So much more health. It's so much better for you, better for your health, not too inconvenient to make. If you have it in a meal with other things such as your eggs or your broccoli, there's just 10 times the amount of nutrition there, which is going to help you build muscle, get fitter, have a healthier life, increase energy levels, all of the above, rather than eating this product. Also, a lot of people don't actually know that like whey protein, if you look at the actual ingredients, it's made of like soya and stuff like that, which is extremely estrogenic, which is then going to cause hormone imbalances, which I'll go over in a whole nother video. But there's just a few things which is just, it's just taking away from you. Whereas with a steak, you can't really go wrong. It's very natural. It's what we always used to eat. It's what we always should eat. And synthetic products that have been made in a factory or manufactured normally isn't the best way to go when it comes to health and improving your body. So, summary, stick to the steaks. They're easy to make, not much of a price difference, 10 times better for your health and fitness, no nasty synthetic chemicals or estrogenics in there, and they will get you ripped and hench if that's what you're looking for. If that is what you're looking for, it will get you to that stage.